Good afternoon and welcome to The Choice on Ekwa Television International. My name is Engineer Tony J. Nakali, and on The Choice we look at the credibility of the elections and everything that has to do with the 2023 elections in Nigeria. And today I have a very vibrant young person that we so much respect in Nigeria, and we had to fish him out to join me in the studio so that we can discuss a few things about 2023 elections. Like you all know, the elections held last week on the 25th of February 2023, and we still have an election coming up on the 11th of March 2023, talking about the governorship and the houses of assembly, and the House of Assembly rather. And I have Comrade Maikoho Ayuba Busa. Comrade, how are you doing?
It is indeed a great privilege. And concerning the election of the presidential that took place 25th of February last week, indeed, we must give it to Nigerians. At the first instance, the massive turnaround, the turn-up towards the election, one. Then secondly, the sensitization for the Nigerians to be part of the electoral process, since from the beginning to the very day they casted their votes. Well, concerning the election process, the electoral process, definitely there must be one or two hitches, which is normal with the electoral process. But the most important thing is Nigeria is growing. The electoral process is growing. We are not where we were before, and at least we have started going somewhere, even though we might not actually reach where we want to be, but we have left where we were. Because if we could look at it from the previous elections, maybe 1999, before now, you understand, before the electoral process, in fact, the politicians appreciate people that are very hefty because they can snatch ballot boxes. They can snatch ballot boxes. But so far now, that is not the case. There was a change in the system. At a point, there was a card reader, and now we come to an era of beavers. So far, so good. Yes, there is progress, even though we can't run away from the fact that there are some hitches in the process. Yes.
Okay, you talked about progress, and you said that Nigeria is not where she used to be when we're talking about elections.
Exactly.
And how can we say where we are right now, how can we say we have gained a milestone in our journey, in our electoral journey?
Yeah, I think at the first instance, we have to look at it from the angle of the awareness to the masses, Nigerian people. The masses now, they understand the importance of the election and importance of participating in the electoral process. I think number one is a milestone. Because no matter how credible or no matter how INEC is going to work towards an election, all their processes, their preparations, it has to come down to the Nigerian people having understanding the system and having confidence in the system. Even though in terms of confidence, when we talk of confidence, in quote, there are a lot of things that are involved. But however, the participation of the Nigerian people in the electoral process, I think is a great milestone. That's one. Then secondly, trying to see that we synchronize the system with the recent technology in such a way so that we will see that there is a drastic reduction in the malpractices of the process, so that it can gain confidence of Nigerians and the international communities, of course. I think it's another milestone.
Using technology to deal with the loopholes. In other words, let me paraphrase what you just said.
Yes,
we just use technology to deal with the loopholes that we have.
Yes,
but do you think that technology has done us good coming out from the 25th election? Do you think that technology has done us good or harm in the system?
Well, it depends on the angle you are looking at it, the standpoint you are looking at it. But to me personally, I would say yes, it has done a lot of good. Like I said, when a system is starting, you might not get it 100%. But the most important thing is let the people understand what is happening. There was awareness. People understand how the beavers work, even though there were a lot of hitches in terms of network problem, in terms of turnout on time of the INEC staff, because there are some places that was recorded. They turned out almost 12 o'clock, there were no staff
There is
to start accreditation. Yes.
There's a 230 venue
Yes.
where people...
So some places, 230, of course. The issue of probably mobilization, that one has to do with INEC. But however, the process, there was participation, and the process, people are believing on the process because INEC itself tried to make sensitization, even though there are a lot of people that feel that, yes, much should be done.
Okay.
And I personally feel so.
Okay. I am of the opinion that technology can give you every solution.
Yes.
But if you have loopholes,
Yes, sir.
technology cannot fix that for you.
Yeah.
If these loopholes are not integrated
Yeah.
in your design for that technology. So, how can you say that it has done us good, yet Nigerians are complaining, no celebration in the country after winning the election, after giving someone a mandate? Well, not really a mandate, but someone was pronounced as president-elect, talking about Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect of Nigeria.
Nigerians, yeah.
And then Nigerians are not happy. Do you think the electoral process did not serve them right, or the candidate that emerged is the problem?
Well, there are a lot of speculations on that. Some people will say, a lot of people are saying, virtually most of Nigerians participated in the election, and not everybody is celebrating the candidate that emerged. However, now coming to technology now, just as you said, the technology must capture every bit of the process. Now, when we talk about a system, the BVAS, which stand for Bimodal Voters Accreditation System. So now the system itself, when you look at it, it can only work on what is being imputed. It cannot work on what is not given to it. Now, BVAS serves at two different capacities. One, the accreditation system, which might either be fingerprint or facial. Then secondly, the snapping, the capturing of your form E8, your E8A form. That is the election result. Now, that election result, it must be captured to the platform of the BVAS. That is where the electorate, that is the Nigerian masses, can view it, and they can monitor the process of the election
on
and
real
the transparency.
On real time.
On real time, yes, sir. So a situation whereby I think where I can say there is a lot of loophole. Now, a situation whereby those forms were not being captured, what will happen? How can the work? The three presidential election, yes. Because now election has been taking place, yes, of course. But on the platform that was supposed to be uploaded, it was not uploaded. The BVAS now cannot function because the result sheet has not been uploaded. Now, two things can happen there. It could be a human error, and it could be a system error. And now that is why the INEC has to go extra miles to see the sensitization, and the training of their staff goes beyond just working on the system, looking at it beyond outside the box. What will happen? Then another issue is now coming back to the candidates. If you are a presidential candidate or an elected office candidate, you must have confidence on your agents, because your agents are your representative there at the polling units. They have to make sure that your result has been captured. And if it has not been captured, they have to raise alarm. And INEC now have to make provision in situation whereby those results that are supposed to be captured, they are not being captured. What will happen? Are they going to be valid or invalid? Because we have a lot of these issues. There are a lot of results that have not been captured, and yet INEC considered them. So now rendering the BVAS void. Because if still election can be conducted, a result has not been captured to the platform,
uploaded and used. What is the need of the BVAS?
Is defeated. So now those are some of the loopholes. I think the INEC needs to work toward it so that they can make it more credible and they can gain the confidence of Nigerians.
The inadequacies,
yes, sir.
Rather, I should use the word inadequacies, the inadequacies of INEC and their machines
Yeah.
have given rise to strong speculations. People are saying they are not coming out to vote.
Yeah.
People are saying Saturday's election will be the same as
The previous
25th.
election?
Yes.
Yes.
And that is stopping them from coming out to vote. Do you have any encouragement for the people?
Yeah, sure. I think the inadequacy of a system should not discourage the Nigerians. Rather, Nigerians should work towards it to make it happen. The inadequacies, as we see, what happened was not only the system error. I somewhat believe there are a lot of human errors too. So now the question is not just issue of going to vote and leave because then you were thinking the system can work for you. But now you should understand that not only voting, you have to be sure that your results have been uploaded successfully and be sure that the result sheet that was filled and signed by the agent is what has been uploaded. So I think leaving the system is like running a fight to live another day. Is for Nigerians, I think it's better for us to come in mass, just like it happened. We should not be discouraged. Vote, defend our vote, make sure it's been uploaded, make sure where there are problems, most especially that of system problem, is being taken note to and is being channeled to complaints appropriately where the INEC will know that there is problems here than overlooking it.
Okay, let me ask you this question as an individual.
Yes, sir.
What is the turnout that we are expecting compared to the turnout that we saw during the last 25th election?
Well, I think now is it, and you need a person that can represent your interests.
He doesn't travel to National Assembly, Abuja National Assembly to do anything. His
His
laws are set within his state.
Of course, yes. His domicile within the state.
And even the governor.
And even the governor.
Even though they are always in
Abuja. But all things being equal, it's expected that the domicile with the people, they are with the people, and they represent the immediate interests of the people. Now, if you have problem, the first person that you're going to meet, if not your councillor or your chairman, is your member House of Assembly. Your complaints channeled through him to present it to the state government through their legislative processes, then your governor. So I think that alone should be an encouragement for people to make their choices known, to come out en masse, to make sure that the person they want, and most especially I think the electoral process, no matter the hitches, has rendered one thing very possible. That is, people now, the value of electorates. People have value. Everybody knows that.
People now they are now valuing the electorate.
Of course, yes. You can see how people are going, campaigning, meeting people. Unlike before, we don't used to see this. That is conspicuous, showing that people now are valued. And if actually it's like that, that means you have a choice of making decision and exercising your franchise right.
Do you think
seeking election, but it will. Because they understand that they will come back to them after 4 years.
You know, one thing you said that I found very, very interesting is that the people seeking the votes,
yes, sir,
they now see a higher level of value. They now place a higher level of value
on the constituency,
on their constituency,
sure.
and it is because people right now vote people who do nothing out.
Yeah.
To vote people who they see some light in their political.
Well, if they make the visit a routine, it's not a bad thing. It's part of valuing the people.
And you have made promises that you want to be this for this reason and this reason and this reason.
Yes.
And then there are projects, whether they are constituency projects, whether they are state projects, whether they are contracts that are being awarded.
Yes, sir.
How do you monitor them if you don't come back to where these projects are happening? So for me, the person that is on seat should be more in his constituency than he is somewhere else. I don't know if I'm of a different opinion than you.
No, I share the same opinion with you. Of course, yes. Because at the first instance, when you are representing people, you must understand their needs. You must understand what they want. You must understand even the needs. You must prioritize it. Which one comes first? Because there are immediate needs, then there is longer needs. So you must, all these things, you must have them as part of your program as a representative of your people, having understand the culture of your people, having understand those things that they need. Now, when you prioritize it, now you must be with them. Coming to meet them, now, I always tell people, when we talk about representation is your proximity with people. When you're close to your people, you don't need even to be thinking what you will do, because as much as you're close to them, it will be visible, and you'll be hearing their complaints. And the more you're hearing the complaint, the more you are solving the problem, you will find yourself doing the projects. It's natural. So, but when you run away from people, you won't understand what are their problems, and you will just be forming problems or projects in your head.
Not people oriented.
That is not people oriented, because you must hit it on the nail. This is what my people want, and you go for it, and they will appreciate it, because you are solving their problem based on their needs. Now, the issue of people staying in Abuja, I must tell you this: from 2015 or in recent years, you will see that there is a change. People, the way they visit their people, now people are putting an eye. Before, constituency development projects, the amount being given to constituents or to legislators, a lot of people don't even know. But now, count 10 people.
They will tell you the exact figures.
8. I'm telling you, 8 will tell you the exact figures. And they will ask questions. What have you done with it? So now it's putting the representatives in check to understand that, yes, people now are coming to it to understand what representation is all about. So I think there's a lot of improvement.
And one thing that people must understand, the person who is your president in a country like Nigeria, his responsibilities are different.
Yeah, sure.
The person who is a senator and a member House of Rep,
yes, sir,
his responsibilities are also different.
Very well, sir.
Well, they have constituency projects, but we should understand that they are lawmakers.
Yeah.
We should understand that they are lawmakers.
Even though Nigerians are finding it difficult to align them to only that.
But that is the reality of who they are. So that we can channel our requests to appropriate measures, channels. To appropriate channels. And you should understand that the person that will largely do projects for you in your state is governors.
Yeah, sure.
They are the governors. And on Saturday, we are turning out en masse to vote our desired candidates. You are from Gombe State, and you are a known person to me. And in Gombe State, we have had issues of governor, and people are in between. Based on your analysis,
yes, sir,
the outcome of Saturday's election will be in your state.
While I always said my state, Gombe State, precisely, and it is our state indeed, a state that we cherish a jewel in the savannah. Politically, we have come to a stage that people are getting more involved in the process of the election. And concerning the 2023 governorship election that is coming up 11th of March, 2023, I think anything can happen. One, I always say, is a small model of what happened in the nation. Now, at the national, we were having debate, the APC, the PDP, and the LP. While in Gombe State, what is happening now, we have the APC, we have the PDP, and of course now we have NNPP that is becoming very strong and is becoming a threat virtually to all the candidates and the parties. But one thing remains certain. The previous election that took place, PDP won 2 senators and 5 members House of Reps out of 6. That shows strength. Whether we like it or not, I'm not trying to hold any brief for any party. It's strength. While when we come to issue of the NNPP, the NNPP is coming as a fresh candidate, does not hold any office. Yes, he doesn't have structures.
He was one-time member House of Reps.
He was one-time member House of Reps. Of course, he is representing Gombe North. But one thing remains certain: he doesn't have structure. But Peter Obi has proven that wrong, issue of structure, because we saw him pulling votes where we're not expecting. So anything can happen concerning that. And a lot of candidates, everybody is going out. Yes, NNPP are pulling crowd. They are becoming very close to the masses. PDP, they are doing their best, and they have proven it in the previous election. While the governor already, he has a lot of lapses. Everybody has his own reservations concerning that. So I think anything can happen in Gombe. The 3 candidates, anything can happen. They're showing their strength at every level.
When you say the governor has lapses,
yes, sir,
I believe you, but his lapses are shown because he's a governor.
Yeah, exactly.
But these other candidates too, they all have lapses, but their lapses cannot be seen because they are not governors.
Yeah, actually, I
you understand?
And
I thank God, because you made a point about about, you made a point about structure, and you said Peter Obi has proven that to be like something not to worry so much about.
Actually.
You know, I think everybody's looking for a credible personality to lead them or to rule them, as the case may be, or depending on how you look at it, to be in power for the people's sake.
Yes, sir.
When people talk about structure, I tell them one thing: you are political when you talk about structure.
Sure.
There is a way that people look at the political terrain in Nigeria that I beg to be different. People do analysis based on governance. People do analysis based on politics. But I do the analysis, my analysis based on revolution. Because everybody is out and tired of either governance or politics.
Sure.
Because these two have not really taken us anywhere.
Yeah.
Now a revolution is coming that will bring us back to pulling governance back and government and politics back. Because if we look at politicians in Nigeria, 70 to 80% of them have failed.
Sure.
They are people.
Sure.
And now that is why people are looking for new and fresh bloods to rule Nigeria. And that is why, if you leave me, I'll say Peter Obi gained the votes. People who are like, who would count the votes for him? Who would monitor the votes for him? Who would do this? But the people stood out for him in places that he didn't have agents. And PDP is in court. Labour Party is in court. Where do you think the court cases would lead? You know, where do you think, how far can the court cases go?
Well, a lot of people have stopped following court cases after elections previously because people have lost confidence
in the
judicial process. Yes, but so far I think I have not read the line of their petitions and their prayers on what is happening. But so far so good. It's normal. It's part of the process for you to challenge your result at the court, and anything can happen.
You think you think the lawsuits will not see light of day?
Sure, it will, but it depends on how credible their petition is, the facts they have. We have seen a lot of elections that were turned to the favor, that were upheld, a lot of things happened in the judicial process. So I think most especially this one, the international communities, they have interest in. A lot of eyes they are on the electoral process and the judicial process. So I think we hope, and at every point in time, the positive change starts somewhere. Now, a lot of people, when you go outside, they will tell you that they have never seen any person challenging a presidential election and won. Yes, but we are sure that one day it will happen. It starts somewhere. With what happened previous election, I think anything can happen.
That's the revolution.
And the revolution, of course, yes. You can see protests everywhere. There's revolution. People are going for personality. People are no more disturbed about party, they are talking about who can represent their interests, who can give them that governance. Even though I still tell people, governance, winning an election and governance, they are two different things. You can see a person winning overwhelmingly at the governance stage, you see him performing woefully. So anything can happen. But the most important thing is people already are putting all the candidates in scale. They are extraying them, and they are going for those people that they believe in. I think that's the most important thing.
Saturday's election.
Yes, sir.
People said that because of the sympathy that Peter Obi won or gained from people, a lot of states will support Labour Party, and because of how APC has not done too well in some states, people will also will not support APC. Are you of different opinion, or you think the same thing will happen? What is your intuition when it comes to Saturday's election?
No, I have a different opinion concerning that. Actually, if you check the checklist of National Assembly, both reps and the senators, you will see that AP were able to have substantial number of rep members and senators, of course. But I can still tell you, probably, yes, the credence of those people are there. We can't take it away. But there are a lot of people that got the wave of Peter Obi. But this time around, Peter Obi is not in the picture. And there are people that made that protest, that revolution was for Peter Obi.
Okay, Peter Obi is not in the picture yet.
He's not in the picture now.
Yet,
yes.
He's in court.
He's in court. What I'm saying,
Atiku is in court.
What I'm saying now.
So
it's governors and House of Assembly now. Previous election, Peter Obi was part of the election as presidential candidate at National Assembly.
But the other people are not also contesting the presidential seat.
What I'm saying now, on that very day, to make it easier, a lot of campaigns went around. Vote for LP so that you will not even mistake it. I don't know what, like 2015, what happened to Buhari? There are a lot of people that people don't even know who they voted. But for the fact that their mind was on the APC or the Buhari, a lot
they
of
looked
people,
for the low.
And other people were favored because of that. So now, the issue of Peter Obi's making it so conspicuous, like presidential election, it won't be like that now. Yes, he will get that favor. Some of the LP candidates will have that favor. But let me tell you, Nigerians still, they are not after party. They are after credibility of candidates, personality. So that will, I presume to see it working in the next coming election. Okay. Not actually.
So Labour Party candidates, you think they will not gain that sympathy because in the Saturday election, because Peter Obi did not emerge president?
So let me put it this way.
Okay.
Peter Obi did not, Labour Party did not win or did not have that massive followership because of Labour Party.
They did because of Peter Obi.
Of Peter Obi. And it's not just because of Peter Obi, because of the values he represents, his credence. So it's not just about party. Yes, party is a channel that will take you there. What will happen in this coming election?
So the people who have the same credibility as Peter Obi are the ones, in my understanding of what you're saying, would win the elections.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Irrespective of the party.
Are there states that you think Labour Party would win based on the candidates they have? Are there states you think PDP will win based on the candidates they have? Are there states that APC would win based on the candidates they have?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's have some instances.
Sure. Well, I think...
What are the states that are coming to your mind, and what are your analysis?
Well, every state has its peculiarity and the nature of history might repeat itself. The election they won in Lagos, Peter Obi won, is because of his person. Now, ordinarily, you will not say because Labour Party had the highest vote in Lagos, Labour Party candidates
at the presidential,
they
will still have the same thing at the governors.
At the governors, no.
Kaduna.
Yes, sir. Wow, Kaduna, anything can happen, sir. Because it's actually something that was surprising. When you look at the person like El-Rufai, we must give it to him in terms of intelligence and some of his ideology.
He is?
Even yes, El-Rufai is intelligent. You must give it to him. Even though some of his intelligence, I have reservations personally.
Maybe you should say I should give it to him. Not you must give it.
I should, yeah.
Because I have reservations about his... no matter how intelligent you are,
yes, sir.
If your intelligence... Because for me, El-Rufai stopped being intelligent when he became governor.
Okay.
But his intelligence was rated. I started advocating for him to become a president.
Yes, sir.
When he was FCT minister.
Yes, sir.
When he became governor, suddenly it stopped.
I understand. So
we are not here to talk about El-Rufai, but since you brought
I told you, everybody has his own reservations. I personally have my reservation concerning him. You understand? When it comes to politics and when it comes to a personal life. So, but now when you look at Kaduna producing 3 members of the Senate, then it's something that you can't predict what will happen.
The politics in Kaduna,
yes, sir,
this time around is a little bit of sweet bitter mixture.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that is?
Yes, there are a lot of mixed feelings by the people of Kaduna on how the governor ran his administration. And that shows some level of protest.
Is he losing out?
Obviously.
As a party, are they losing out?
Of course, yes. Obviously. Because the 3 central zones, they are producing PDP in an incumbent state of APC. With person like El-Rufai, South, Central, and the North, all they produce PDP senatorial this thing. Even though
It's almost like the case of Gombe.
even though they have mixed of their representative
Yes.
greenhouse chamber, they have some mix, but still it's showing that people are not happy with some of his decisions, some of his policies. It's obvious. And I always tell people, when you see people are not talking during governance, it's better people to come and even abuse and challenge the policies. But when people are not saying anything, you will see them
so much of
yes,
a lot.
and you will see them expressing their bitterness on the ballot. And that was what was clearly shown in Kaduna. While in Gombe, you can see almost the same thing happening. Out of 3, you can see 2 PDP, only 1 APC. Even the APC in quotes, anything can happen. So,
At least that did not come from my mouth. At least that did not come from my mouth. But everybody knows that the body languages speak louder than even words.
Yeah,
and
very
all
well,
of that.
very well.
So we're talking about Kaduna. Now let's look at Bauchi, for instance. The governor of Bauchi has done them more than a lot, and he's still doing well.
Very well.
And I didn't pay mind to what is happening politically in Bauchi with the Senate and House of Representatives, and the governorship is where I have so much interest in. And I think that the APC candidate is really spending.
Yes, sir.
They are spending money. It's like they are banked on taking Bauchi State over. But what is the possibility that you see?
Well, when we bring Bauchi...
Because Bauchi, there are just 2 parties.
Bauchi, yes, sir.
Well, there are other parties, but there are 2 parties.
Yes, sir.
APC and PDP.
Well, when we bring Bauchi as a case study here now, you must give it to Bala Abdul Qadir Kauram Bauchi. He is a very good politician. While he was FCT minister, you can see, if you look at his antecedent politically. And now when you look at his governance, what he has done so far within the 2019 to date, you can see how he has changed Bauchi State in terms of infrastructure, in terms of policies, and in terms of a lot of things. So, putting that in mind, you look at Bauchi, the history of Bauchi, the voting system of Bauchi State. Bauchi State has always been an APC state. There was protest 2019 that brought in Kaura. But now for him to sustain it, but I must tell you, within his powers in terms of administration, he has done well. Yes, there will be a lot of challenges, but I'm telling you this, Kauram Bauchi has chances of coming back, not really because he is PDP, but because he has understand the political system of winning Bauchi State. Secondly, bringing the Air Marshal, the former Air Chief of Staff, that's Ababa Bakar. Yes, this one is one person that he has not served in the state or in the political capacity. While he was Air Vice Marshal, he has performed well, and he brought a lot of projects to Bauchi State. But it's going to be a very hard nut for him
to crack.
Not really because he is not good in person, but because Kauram Bauchi has performed, and Kauram Bauchi has been there in the state. He is one person that throughout his tenure, he has been consistently domiciled within Bauchi to see that he has done what he foresaw this coming. Already you can see from his actions. And there are a lot of achievements. So I am expecting, well, Borno State, I think Borno State is virtually a zero opposition state so far.
Okay, why would you say that?
Not
when
really
there are
because
other parties existing?
Not really because no other parties, because I'm talking about people believing in the capacity of their governor, in what he has done and what he is doing, the vision he has for them. So people somewhat believe in the prof.
Don't you think there are some sort of marginalization?
Sure, there should probably when it comes, and that one is relative when it comes to leadership.
People talk about him being one-sided, especially in the area of religion and all of that.
Yeah, always people will say something. But the most important thing is...
But is it true? Is it something we can say is true, given the situations that have happened, that the situations that are making people say this? Could that be true?
Well, personally, if I don't know from which angle they are looking at it, yes, there has been a lot of people not having the expectations probably from the southern zone of the Borno that they think probably he would have stepped in. But one thing is, you must give it to him that despite the fact, irrespective of the zones, he was physical, he was visible in terms of problems. He was visible. He might not actually do as much as they're expecting him to do, or probably he might have preference. That one is there with the governance. But one thing is, you must give it to him that he was there, or he has been there, and he has been visible. You always see him visible, the hospitals everywhere. So you must give it to him. Nobody can be 100%.
I need to thank you so much, comrade, for finding time to be here. You know, I've learned a lot from what you have said.
Thank you very much.
Conversation was highly enjoyed, and I'm sure the people that are watching also picked one or two things from what you said. This is The Choice on Equa Television International. We have a lot of other programs that are coming up shortly, and we need to take a break on The Choice. We'll return much later with another guest. Stay tuned and keep loving Equa Television. We'll be right back.